Hey guys, it's Daniel from Some PPC. So in today's video, I wanted to go over how you would optimize your shopping campaigns. Now, a lot of people, or a lot of advertisers, they set up their shopping campaigns, but they don't really understand what goes into the optimizations because oftentimes it actually happens outside of that Google Ads dashboard. So you might be thinking there's a lot to do in the Google Ads part, or you don't know what to do at all. So in this video, I just want to break down 3 of the tips, or the best tips I would say you can do for optimizations when it comes to shopping campaigns. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go over was an example. So as you know, shopping campaigns are quite visual, right? Because you have the product image, the description, and the headline, as well as some key information about the product. So I just did a custom search for a lawnmower, but I want to look through the examples, right? And you can probably already see there's one example that just stands out, which would be this one. I think you can see has a white background, and this one is just the one that stands out. So when it comes to your actual shopping ads, you want to be polarizing in some way, in the sense like if your image is quite different, maybe it can be in your pricing as well. Again, lawnmowers, I guess, have a varying price range. So what I would say the main part is the actual image that you have. So what you can do is you can actually just test out these images that you have. So for example, if you have a white background and you see you're getting X CTR and X conversion rate, and it's a good performing product, maybe organically, or you just see the potential for the product, test out a different product image. So if you have some other product images of somebody actually interacting with the product, like you can see here, it's somebody using this lawnmower rather than just the lawnmower itself, it gives you a clear picture of the actual product in action, and people like that as well. So that's just the suggestion I can give. Number one, you can't really split test these shopping images. You more so can just observe. So I would say if you're getting maybe 75 clicks for each product, or maybe you run one image for 75 clicks and take a look at the results that you're getting, and then you try a new image for another 75 clicks. Observe the difference you have in CTR and CBR um, over those over that period that you conduct the test. Okay. And again, that's a good way to test out some of your products, because even if you do this for a couple of products, you can already find some winners and actually increase your conversion rates and the number of people that actually land on your landing page. Okay, and I wanted to show one more example. In this example, you can also see, so I searched brown shoes. Now I wasn't looking for the actual company, but there's a company for that. But I more so just wanted to look at the different results that we have, okay? And again, there's one that relatively stands out, which would be this image by Temu. Again, they have a significantly lower price point and it's a different quality of product. But just strictly if we're looking at the image of the product, then we can definitely say it like it has a different angle. There's somebody holding it as well. You get a much closer view of the product. It's much higher quality because all of these are more so zoomed out from the other products. Some of these are on sale, but again, like everybody pretty much has reviews. And the way that you can actually stand out is by the actual product image that you have. Okay, so another attribute when it comes to your shopping ads would be the product titles and descriptions, because I'm sure as you've noticed, you don't have search keywords in shopping campaigns. What it does is it pairs the product description and titles that you have to user searches, and that's where you see the search terms that you have. So basically, the only way Google can understand what searches to match to your actual product listing is through the description that you have and the actual product titles. So that's where it would go into your actual merchant center and optimize the titles of your products, right? Because if you're including main keywords, like if somebody's searching men's solid dress shoes, for example, Temu is going to show up higher because their ad rank is probably more relevant because they have actually included that keyword in the product listing, versus somebody else who didn't include that product listing may show up lower. Again, I should search a brown shoe, so these are relevant, but they're not the most accurate, because brown shoes can mean a lot of things. I might want like more casual shoes, but it's just an example as well. So you want to make sure that you actually include the main keywords that describe your product, or the ones that you target in the search campaigns as well. So if you see you have main keywords that perform quite well, usually it's an 80-20 rule. You see 20% of your keywords performing the best and generating 80% of the revenue. So focus on those main keywords and see how you can incorporate them into your shopping ad as well, because maybe Again, maybe they're just main keywords for your product, but maybe there's longer tails and you can add them into this actual product title and description as well. Okay, so for this last part, I wanted to jump into a screen share and actually show one of the audits I'm conducting at the moment. I want to point out some parts that I'm actually suggesting for the client and changes I would actually make. Okay, so right off the bat here, we can see that we just have an 80-20 rule, just forced pretty much, which would be that 20% of the products are actually generating 80% of the revenue. And you can see that here, right? Because there's just two products with 14 and 10 conversions that are generating the most revenue. We can see that we have here a product, for example, that has gotten two conversions at 307 clicks, but it's a very slight positive conversion value. So the return here isn't great, and I would assess that as well. And we even have products here that have a negative return. So again, what I focus on when it comes to shopping ads is amplify your key performers and stop spending so much budget on product categories that aren't performing so well. So I would just shut off these product listings because again, we're well exceeded the 5,000 impressions mark and also 100 clicks. So I would go ahead and pause this as well. We have quite a low CTR when it comes to these shopping campaigns. So I'm curious as to maybe we can try different product images and to maybe look at ways we can be more polarizing with the shopping ad so that we can actually get a higher CTR. Because the CTR is also an indicator of ad relevance, right? Because if it's too low, then we know there's something in the ad we can change to improve that metric, which can also improve conversion rates. Again, it's not the key metric that I focus on when it comes to conversions, but it's also a good indicator as to how many conversions we can get and the quality of the ad as well. Okay. And aside from this kind of component, I would also say that you need to look at your search terms. So this is arguably one of the most important components, and you need to be, I would say, twice a week, so every 72 hours or so, go into your insights and then look at the search terms there are and filter out by impression. So first look at how many or which keywords are your ads or search terms are your ads showing for the most and which ones are irrelevant, and I'd add those as negative keywords. And then if you're getting a lot of traffic, so I would look at clicks and see which search terms you're actually getting a lot of traffic for, but they're not necessarily relevant to your product, or they're terms that you won't convert. And again, what I like to do with Google Ads, I look at it holistically. So if I have some strategies that work in a search campaign, let's say you've been running a search campaign for half a year, maybe more, and you have substantial data as to which keywords perform well, which keywords don't perform well, you can even use that data and take a look at it to improve your shopping campaign. So add negative keywords that you see in your search campaigns also to here. Another thing I would suggest too is do a Google search of your product. So maybe you don't know specifically what attributes to improve. And again, you can't really know unless you have the information for it, the data. So I would do even a Google search if you type in I search from and search up a keyword, a main keyword that you would want to rank for, or a search query. Then you can take a look at the different shopping ads that are listed and look at what your competitors are doing, look at their product titles and their images, and think about kind of how you can be polarizing plus some angles that you can actually test out. So that'll be a good way that you can actually improve your CTR and also your conversion rates. Because when it comes to Google Ads, testing actually works quite well, and you do need to test out multiple different strategies until you actually figure out what works. So that's something I would suggest as well. That covers my video on some tips when it comes to creating good Google Shopping ads that actually convert. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'm happy to help out.